2025. The time is now 5:40. If I can get our roll call, starting from my left.
Councilwoman Diane Howard.
Councilman Darrell Honoré.
Mayor Pro Tem Amelia Inman.
Councilwoman Yolanda Shepherd.
And if we can, let's just have a moment of silence. Thank you so much. So now for the approval of the agenda. It's my understanding, Ms. Ashley, that we have to first approve or open the public hearing. I'm in the right order? Okay. So I would like for someone to make a motion to approve our agenda.
I'd like to make a motion to approve tonight's special call meeting, January 27th, 5:30 p.m.
Okay. Do I have a second?
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Any opposed? No. Okay. So you can move forward. All right. So today's public hearing, this is for the decision of 7041 Swift Street, special exception request. We're going to confirm with our zoning administrator, Bill Johnson, on the phone. Are you able to hear us, Mr. Johnson?
Yes, good evening.
Good evening.
Okay, now I would like to have a motion to open the public hearing.
A motion to open public hearing.
Can you get a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, we can go forward. All right, Mr. Johnson, you can proceed.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Mayor and Council, tonight before you is the 7047 Swift Street children's institutional uses. These are listed under Section 7, the scheduled uses in the form-based code, which applies to this property. It's not allowed by right, but by special exception, and that's the purpose of the public hearing tonight. The couple of issues related to this application. One is about scale. The form-based code talks about personal care home group and personal care homes congregate, with the congregate being more of an institutional setting with a much larger resident population. In terms of the scale of the building at 7047 Swift Street is consistent with the structures in the business or the town center, and also consistent with the neighborhood to the rear of the property. So scale is an issue. The second issue is the impact on the neighborhood. I went through the ordinance trying to find guidance on a 24-hour facility, and Lithonia doesn't have any adult care or child care that's 24-hour. This is more of an orphanage, a foster type situation. So for child caring institutions, one of the decisions that we'll have to deal with tonight is whether the group child caring institution or the congregate. My recommendation is to go with the group not to exceed 6 residents in addition to the caregivers that will be on the property. The reason for that recommendation is that the congregate facility, really, in my estimation, which allows, I think the applicant has gotten some information from the department, that allows 16 or more individuals. And that, in my mind, would be inconsistent with the neighborhood in terms of population in each of the dwellings in the neighborhood to the rear of this property is on the order of 2 to 3 persons per household, so that the child caring institution congregate would be much larger than that. In terms of the hours of operation, manner of operation, it would be expected to mirror those of any traditional household. Impact on property values, the nature of a congregate facility could have adverse effects on surrounding property values. And population density in the surrounding area, threats to public safety created by the proposed child caring institution, there may be concern about that, and again, that's why I'm recommending that if the council chooses to approve such a facility, which is at their option, because a special use permit is required, as I mentioned, I would recommend that no more than 6 individuals be permitted as residents in this foster care facility. There's social scientists will say that they would like to have foster children in a foster home, that's optimal. But because of funding shortages and just shortages of foster care families, the next best thing may be a child caring institution that's limited to the group facility. So the recommendation, and based on the findings and conclusions in my report, is approval of a child caring institution as a special exception that would allow a maximum occupancy of 6 foster children, exclusive of caregivers. And this may be appropriate and is based on the size of the dwelling proposed for such a facility, the mixed-use character of surrounding uses forming the context in which this dwelling is located, the ordinance limit for an adult foster care home of not more than 6 adults, and due consideration of the economics of operating such facilities. There's a number that would make such facilities an economic operation below which it would be a losing proposition. So we have to be considerate of that number of individuals. In addition, approval of such a facility shall be licensed to operate a foster care facility as defined by the Georgia Department of Human Services. Such approval shall limit the number of children receiving foster care at any given time to no more than 6 children. I know I've hit that number quite a number of times in my presentation. Are there any questions on any of the matters before us?
Yeah, I have questions, but I don't know if it's to you or if it's to Mr. Jackson. I'm reading Youth Development Center. And I looked up some youth development centers and I didn't see any that was 24 hours. So, and I know you gave us background on child care, foster care. I don't know if you did group care, but I guess that's probably considered as one of these that you described. So, should we hold this until we get the presentation from Mr. Jackson? Is he here? Okay.
Okay, I'm gonna put you on,
I got a question for,
no, I'm gonna leave you on.
Councilman Honoré has a question before you answer.
yeah, so, Mr. Johnson, you were speaking of the limitation of 6 people.
Hold on one second. Mr. Johnson, can you hear, Councilman Alray well?
Yes.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah, you're speaking of a limitation of 6 people, including caregivers. Do you know, what's the ratio of caregivers per, like child? Per child? You mentioned that it might be a losing proposition for 6 to be in a facility with
I use the guidance that's in the ordinance itself, and that is adult daycare, child daycare, and that's where I got the number. The number that the applicant will present tonight, as I understand it, is 16 residents. And that's what the licensing would be issued by the Georgia Department of Human Services.
Is it a ratio per bed or room?
Two persons, two children per bedroom is the ratio.
Per size of the bedroom.
Yeah, I think he's gonna answer.
Well, the size will be something else they need to look at for just to be consistent with the building code. But in terms of what I reviewed from the definitions in the department, it was 2 individuals per bedroom. So they calculated that. But again, what the applicant will present, as I understand it, is six up to 16 residents.
If it's commercial. Yeah, I guess I need to hear, because I'm confused. I don't know if we're talking about children or adults at this point.
All right, Mr. Jackson, would you like to come up and make a presentation?
Hello there.
Hello.
How you doing?
Again, my name is Chris Jackson, and CJE Youth Development Center is the name of the organization. And we've been dealing with kids with the state of Georgia for since 2012, and have done pretty well. And then an opportunity came about where we can house more kids with autism, because there's a shortage here in Georgia for kids with autism. I'm sure you know that they have some kids that, you know, are displaced. A lot of parents don't want to deal with autism because they don't want to sit there and mind their kids for 24 hours or what have you. But this is a facility where it will be monitored 24 hours for 3 to 4 adults at a time. It's 1 adult per 6 kids, and they have to be awake on their shift, what have you. And so the facility has 10 bedrooms. It has 16 beds in there, and so none for any staff members because they have to be alert and awake at all times. It's monitored with cameras and everything on the inside and outside. And so we're trying to help these young people to cope and develop. They'll be in groups, they'll have counseling, just multiple things that'll help them prepare for their journey. The ages are from age 13, and the max age is 18 years of age. And then they have to transition to another state program.
So these are special need children,
Yes, ma'am.
and is there any type of license that you have to have for special need children?
Just the regular RCCL license with residential child care, and then a license for OPM.
Is there a particular home that this have to be? Is this a group home or a assisted living home? It's none of those.
It's not a no,
Those categories.
It's a group home, but
It's a group home?
specifically for youth.
Okay, so when you go to the state for license, you apply for a group
For
home.
youth, yeah, for group home, CCI, Community Child Care Institution.
Okay, Councilman Shepherd, go ahead.
Mr. Jackson,
Yes, ma'am.
do you have another facility that's active,
Yes.
or would this be your first? You do have another?
Yes, it's smaller though. It's only 6.
Okay, I was
Say
gonna ask, that was only my
Captain
second
6, yeah.
question. So you have 6
Yeah.
children there?
Yeah.
Do you mind me asking what part of town it's on?
Fair,
Is it in the industrial area or residential?
residential. Actually, my home.
Okay, okay.
I can go back right there.
No, go ahead, yeah.
16, you said you're wanting this house to be licensed for 16?
Yes, ma'am.
Children?
Yes, ma'am. I've been trying to expand for a while, but real estate right now is just
How many bedrooms does that house have?
10.
Do you know the sizes? Is it, because when I was going into this type of care, and I've been in there for at least almost 20 years, it was based on the size, that the per footage, I guess, whatever, per room. You just can't, I mean, the room could be but you can't necessarily fit 2 people in that room just because it's a room. It has to have the per square foot or
That's
whatever.
correct. The rooms, the majority of the rooms are for 2-bed occupancy, and then there's probably 2 or 3 rooms that only have 1 bed in it because of the size of the room. I've also put a computer lab in there and some other things, gaming area. It has 2 kitchens, a large dining hall area. So, yeah.
So when you go from 6 beds to 16 beds, don't that take you to another area from being residential to commercial? Because the same qualifications for a 6 bed is not the same for a 16, and even for fire qualifications, you would have to have a whole different license when you go over 6. So you have 6 at your home now. So you turn your home into a group home or personal care home.
No, I can get 9 in my home.
In
I just
Fairburn?
chose to do 6 because it just.
What county is Fairburn? Is that the county?
It just,
Yeah, 16.
but it'll be 3 or 4 adults there at the time.
It's not the matter of adults, it's how many non-relative people you can keep in a home under that being a group home rather than a commercial facility. You move into a whole nother area when you go over 6.
And then there's a lot here in DeKalb that do have that capacity and more.
Well, it's not that the fact of whether or not they have them is that are they qualified to have them? Do they have the square footage in that room? And if it's 16, if it's commercial or if it's a family home business. So it goes from a family home business to a commercial home business, you know, and qualifications are different. Did you check out the surroundings in that area to see? So would you be concerned about Swift Street and the cars because you right on the street and the cars and vehicles that go zooming past?
To that, again, it would be sort of a semi-lockdown facility because children with autism, we don't really want them getting out in the community anyway.
That was gonna be part of my second question. I can't quite remember how the backyard looks on that facility, but I was gonna ask you, outside time, how does that look if y'all do outside time?
We are considering fencing. We just have to see which one would look appropriate for the house, whether we're gonna go with wood or chain link.
And
So
then
we
make sure
are gonna do fencing.
If approved, make sure if you do that, make sure you touch bases with our code enforcement. So we would hate for you to put up something you gotta take right back down.
Okay, gotcha.
So there's a store that sells alcohol and tobacco products. There's also a vineyard that's licensed for alcohol. So I guess, how do you kind of figure that would be conducive to a home-based child care business?
Well, they're being monitored 24 hours, so if they leave out of the facility, then that's on whoever the attendant is at that time to make sure that those kids are inside.
Is there any type of regulation that of square footage that you may have to be from alcohol serving business?
No, definitely not a regulation.
What about another facility, a child care facility? Is there any requirement for square footage? Yes, it is. That I know.
Not that I know.
I know, so that you don't know it, but it is. Okay.
Another, can I interject all that because I did review the alcohol ordinance.
Go ahead, Mr. Johnson.
The ordinance surprisingly did not have a minimum distance from a child care facility. I was surprised to find that, but that's what I found in the Lithonia alcohol ordinance.
Not the alcohol per se, but the distance between another facility like his. You know what I mean? So say for instance, if you can't put 2 personal care homes or 2 group homes, and this home
We made an
is a
ordinance
group
for that
home.
last time we did the Edge District. We made an ordinance for that. Remember when me and you did all that?
That, yeah,
They said that we
but the
couldn't
county
have
has
2.
one too. You can't have, 2.
You remember Mr. Johnson?
I think it's the separation was 1,500 feet.
Right, because we would consider that home
Yep.
across the street home. Yeah.
But I don't think there's another daycare around there, right?
Right. Yeah, I just want to know how if he did that research too. He was putting this together.
Yeah, I have a couple of questions. All right, so the home that you're in now, is that like licensed with the county and they know you're there and everything like that? Because we had a lot of issues with that.
Well,
Even your home, your personal home.
I'm contract with a private agency that also contracts with defense.
I know as far as the city and the state, knowing that home is one,
Yes.
your home. We had problems with that before, personal care and foster homes of a couple of people just operating outside of that, and the community did have issues, and we had to do a lot of it taxed our services for the police, right? Because they were just kind of wandering the streets, when they come out of school, they don't get all the way home or whatever means of transportation they got from. So there's a lot of stuff. You're not the first. I know a lot of people come to Lithonia thinking they're the first, but we have kind of cleared up the city of that type of nuisance in the city for years. We worked on that for years, and even on a personal, I was telling one of the council members on a personal note, I remember one guy stealing my son's bike, lived behind my house, and I know those guys are good. But, they also, dealing with things outside of, their personality. So my thing is, I'm questioning, her name is Councilwoman Howard has a lot of knowledge of it. Now, it seems like you want to do it, but I don't know, have you dug into all the legal aspects of the house and your licensing, like fire escapes, and how much money you have to put into? So the concern is, if you do that and it's just in there, hazardous living and building the fence, there's a lot of stuff that need to be done. So what kind of resource will come up with that and get approval from the state? You haven't got that yet, right?
We haven't. So this is the first step, and we still have to go through those hearings as well, and they can very well deny. So even if you all say yes, they can very well deny. And we're trying to fix and repair the house. It's just been sitting for years, and we're trying to fix and repair it and get it to where it can be lived in, as well as the fire situation. We put fire extinguishers in every bedroom and every room of the house. We also have, for the upstairs, we have a ladder for each bedroom upstairs that can be attached onto the window that can reach 15 feet to the ground. That has been purchased.
Now, is that ideas that you have, or is that the law?
Well, that's
The fire
ideas that
department.
just
Yeah,
to
that was
help and aid in, just in case anything.
No sprinkler system?
You have a fire sprinkler system?
It is not a valid, and I'm sure that the house is probably so old, it's grandfathered, probably grandfathered.
No, it's not going to be grandfather, because you can't grandfather people's life when you. If a fire break out, you can't. Well, we don't have to worry about it because he's grandfather. No, you have to. It have to have. If you go over 6, if you go up to 6 people, over 3 people, you should have fire. You haven't had a fire inspection yet.
No, that's what I said.
Yeah.
This is
So
the first step, and
if you have to get a fire sprinkler system, then you will be going deep into your pocket. Now I did one 20 years ago. So and anything over 3 at that time, you had to have a fire sprinkler system. No ladders, because a kid with autism, you think he's going to get on this ladder and safely get down to the bottom?
But it was just a precautionary measure to help and aid, and it's just in case of emergency. We have all types of things that can assist in.
Assist, but would it help?
I'm not sure.
Right, well, you could stick a balloon out there and say, okay, well, at least you'll know where that window is. I'm sorry. The other thing, the child care institution, I would like to see the license that's provided. I mean, this is your first step.
Yeah, this is first step, and there's no even going to the next step to try to apply for the RCCL if it's not approved, because they want the approval before they even move forward and come out to even look at the facility and tell you if they're gonna go yes or no.
Okay, it came to me. So the last time we had that discussion and someone wanted to be on the front, we suggested that it would be better to be in the residential area than have it right here, childcare on the front, especially it was right beside something else that we were concerned about. Childcare, something else. You remember right here on the front, we suggested that,
Yeah.
that Main Street.
Yeah.
So does this street carry that same,
It's still Edge District.
if it's Edge District? Because that was the reason we
We did
decided
say
that wouldn't be,
That was a big issue.
being on the Edge District. And we said they could put it, but not on the edge, but somewhere in a community area, residential.
And actually, is that edge though, Mr. Johnston? I don't know.
Yeah, the property zoned edge.
No,
It's
the property that sits on Main Street across from, across from the funeral, Tri-Cities?
Mhm.
Is that, what district is that?
Edge.
That is edge?
That's when we decided the feet between the daycares.
Yeah, so that's a daycare where they go
Because
home,
it's
but
not right
then
across
these
the street.
other people wanted like the yellow brick house where they stay
24
overnight.
hours.
Yeah, so that was the difference why we decided that we had that one, anything else that came that way
We was gonna say
need to
no.
be in the,
Outside.
in not
Residential.
edge, yeah. Well,
And that
We did
was
say that.
a concern, but
yeah,
yeah. Okay, did you guys have any more questions? I had a few questions.
I'm done right now.
All right, Mr. Jackson, I was curious, I don't really know, are you the owner of this property, 7041 Swift Street?
No.
No?
Is it 47 or 41? I think
7047.
47,
That
I
was the
think,
wrong number.
on the agenda, that's all.
Oh, okay, so 7047. Okay, so technically you'll be leasing from whoever owns the property, okay. So, that in itself kind of brings up a few concerns. Okay, but I'll just wait. Let's go ahead and move into our, okay, yeah. Let's go ahead and move into, our in favor section. So you are able to have a seat at this time, Mr. Jackson.
Thank you, Mr. Jackson.
Okay, so there's no one in favor today? Okay, so, sure.
I'm Maxine Young, from the home at 7027 Swift Street, which I carry a liquor permit.
Hey, Ms. Jackson, how you doing?
I'm good.
Happy New Year.
We know you want to-
Yes, I'm not here to put that anybody's business, but I was in that business before as a foster mom
Yeah,
and
sure.
also a transitional home. And the age he talking about is very dangerous. They're not only sexual predators, they're also abusive. They all come from, diverse background, that they got a lot of problems. The police gonna be at the house 24/7, because I've been there, done that. The property I purchased, I have personal care homes. When I transitioned from doing the Department of Human Resources, doing DD, developmental people, I transitioned in doing the children. But I didn't want babies because I'm old and I'm trying to do all of that. So what I did, I do the 16 and a half to 21. And because I didn't have to wait behind, so that was good for me. But that's not a good area for that. And my property in the back, which is the one at Bond Street, you can walk across, this is the back, you walk across the street. So the city is getting ready to work on the parking lot. My customer got to go through that gate if something happened. If I have outdoor activity, they walk right across the street. Plus, I had to do a liquor survey. I had to come before the meeting, remember, and prove to get a license. When I did the survey, the church was across the street on this Center Street, the one you live in.
Conyers.
It's a Common Street. Oh, yeah. So anyway, that street right
But it
there.
turns into Center Street down.
Right. My surveyor that I had to pay all this money, the only way I got to get the license there, she said, because you have to come from a long distance around, you can't walk across the track. So that is why I got that license. I cannot afford to lose my license because these children are very dangerous. One of my foster sons used to go down to the liquor store, and I was distant, and that's a personal care home that I have to license. Fire, if you got 3 kids in there, I have 6 to each house. And it was a personal care home, and it has to be licensed and sprinkler down. It was not cheap. Not only have fire, but I have sprinkler. I spent over $40,000 putting all that in there. It's not easy and it's not cheap. I understand what he's trying to do, helping the kids, and I'm for it, but I can't have it next to my business because I'm not going to jail. I'm old. Because then kids come up in your place and say, for instance, one of the alcohol people walk in and they have a bottle walk out. What's going to happen to me? I'm going to come out and cuff if somebody served it, even though I'm not selling liquor. We are serving, but you never know. They are very tricky. I dealt with them. There's people at the gas station to collect money, them kids. I have them in school. I used to have to go to the school every day. I had no life because of it. I had to give it up. My property that was at 5,000 on Miller Road, I bought that for foster kids. Each one of that building is 50,000 square foot space. One of those, each building could hold 16 kids. But because of their sexual activity and behavior, and the only reason I found out, because when you get mad at him, you spill your blood on this one. And I'm like looking at, what the hell? And I have social worker. I didn't have regular staff. I don't hire regular people. They're all social worker I had in the house. So what happened, there was shift work for the social worker. Them kids run away, they got a lot of, I get them from all over. But I had to give it up because it was not worth the stress. So I am sorry, I am not for it, not there. It's not a good deal.
Thank you.
Maxine. Okay, and who's the next person on the opposed side? Okay. I have Sharon Inman on the phone. Hold on one second. Okay, you ready? Well, Mom. Hello? Oh, okay, here we go. All right, I'm putting you on, you're on speaker. I'm putting you on the mic. Okay.
Hello, good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
It's not good.
I've been living in the city for 20-some odd years, and I've seen a lot, okay? With that being said, I had a property next to me. Was trying to turn it into a halfway house. I know we're not talking about a halfway house, we're talking about a kids group home. So I am totally against this kids group home. Then, just like Miss Maxine, I think the person who spoke before me just then, I think I met Miss Maxine. But anyway, I'm totally supporting what she's saying, and she's correct, because I do work around kids. I'm an environment of kids right this minute, reason why I cannot be there in person. So kids gonna be kids, and when you got kids with problems, at the end of the day, we want to be in a peaceful place where we live, and where we can sleep and lay our heads. The staff get to leave and go to a peaceful place. We don't invest too much in that property, homes and business. So the city's only so big. We don't need all that drama. We don't need to be bringing all this news and all this other negative stuff that can come along with these situations. You know, standoff, anything can take place. So like I said, I'm not against kids. I know what you guys doing and what you plan on trying to do, but not in the city. Please.
Okay.
Got to have a little bit more compassion for everybody else. Okay. And our little kids that's growing up in the city. Grandkids, kids. So that's all I have to say. Thank you for giving me time.
Thank you, Ms. Simmons. Okay. All right, was there anyone else that wanted to speak in opposition? I think his battery is dying.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Well, let's talk about what we're doing. Is this gonna help our neighborhood? Is it gonna help the kids, or should we table this and see what we can do? Or can we find another spot to help him, to help Lithonia, to help the citizens? Our kids is in desperate need. We have people do not want their kids, special need kids especially. Each and every one of you all, me and you, working with special needs. When we have a situation like this is something that we have to really look at. Are we big enough to host an area like this for special need kids? Or even in the home this size? This gentleman here is crying out for help. So we can table this and find out another place. Or can we find out another place? Because my understanding, you're not purchasing, right? So can we, ladies and gentlemen, table this and help him find a suitable place where we can make life more abundant for him, for the city of Lithonia, and for the kids. Because what we're seeing now and what's about to happen in the future, we're all going to be dependent on who can help these kids, and I'm dependent on you all to think about it and table before you make a decision. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Mosley.
That's in the address.
Huh?
That same thing, that's in the address.
Oh,
Yeah, what's your address? Are you in the city in Lithonia?
Right here.
What's the address? So yeah, so it's for the record, we forgot to get the record. No, I mean to state it for the record, this is being recorded. You can scream it from there.
Do you have the address?
Oh,
It's your daughter's address? Okay, do you live there? Okay.
what's the address? Well, we know next week.
She would have came.
She would've?
She would have came. But I can call and get that.
You can give it to her.
okay. How you doing, ma'am?
Good evening. My name is Cindy Butler. I'm a resident of Lithonia, business owner of Lithonia for 20 years. And where this children institution is a door away from mine. I respect him for wanting to open up in Lithonia, but having cut hair for 35 years and having autistic kids attack me in my business with the father right there, I'm totally against it in this area. That's a busy corner. In the morning, I get up and walk. I'm a grandmother. I have grandkids. The parking is just, for me, not a good location. Being a part of the community, that's why I'm here. I stopped what I was doing so I could be here and speak on this. I'm one house away from that. I don't see it. And it's a quiet street. 16, that's a lot of
It is a
kids.
lot. I don't think
That's a lot.
I don't think it
You
is.
hit that corner in the morning, it's quiet. It's not gonna be that way. Autistic kids, they need help, just like the gentleman said, but not right there. You don't know when they're gonna attack. They have triggers. The father was right in front of him as I was cutting his hair. That kid grabbed me so fast, I had to peel his fingers off me. That traumatized me. Judge Bethel of DeKalb County said, Cindy, he is banned from the barbershop. He can't come in here. He said, because he's a liability. We don't know what's gonna happen going down Swift Street. Somebody may not have supervision, but he's a business owner, so am I. But for that, I'm totally against it. It could be somewhere else, but not right there on that corner. Not right there. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Butler. Ashley, do we have anyone else? All right. All right, so now I would like to move into discussion amongst council. Do I need a motion for that, Ashley?
So he's
Oh, close
already,
the public hearing.
he's already read his recommendation.
I'm sorry?
He read them already, okay.
I need to make a vote to close the public hearing. Okay, can someone please make a motion to close our public hearing?
I make a motion to close the public hearing.
All right, can I get a second?
A second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
All right, always have it. All right, so now we can just, since this is for decision, we have to make a decision. So we can go into discussion now.
Well, I do have some discussion. The only thing, the biggest thing, one of the biggest things that bothers me about your location and you dealing with special needs children is the railroad train. We have a history where there have been citizens that have jumped over the train. We are currently dealing with issues where the train sits on the track for periods of time that we're dealing with. And it just concerns me that you just right there over a cliff where the train track is with children.
No,
And I totally hear everybody else's points of view, but for me, that's the thing that stood out in my head is like autistic kids have triggers. And I hear you, I totally hear you say that you will have 24-hour supervision, both you have inside cameras and outside cameras, but I totally agree. I want you to be able to have your business. I think it's neat. I know it's needed. And my heart goes out to you because I couldn't do it, and I appreciate you for doing it. But I also want to recommend looking for another space. I don't know if you've had the opportunity to kind of look in unincorporated DeKalb, which is slightly around us. That's my suggestion. I suggest that you try kind of look at the demographics and see other spaces. And I don't like the fact that you are right up the street from a convenience store that sells alcohol and tobacco and all of that with kids. So there are a lot of things that come in play that I just feel like that's not the space for you. But hoping that the city, our code enforcement, can give you some more leads on some more spaces that would be optimal. Because it ain't like I'm saying, hey, no, I want to turn you away with options. So for me, it's not going to be comfortable. No, it's going to be a no.
Okay.
I'm also concerned about the activity that's around, that has been there, and businesses where people have invested and are vested in those areas. And I did special need children and special needs seniors and adults with special needs. I did it all, 26 years if you add the children in. So I know the need is there, the love is there, my heart goes out. I wish I could still do it, but it's rough. Like you said, those kids will fight you. Autism, there's another one, but I won't name them all, but yeah. So, I mean, and they're not doing it because that's you know, they're doing it because they can't do anything else or they don't know to do better. So that's just what they do. So you can't fault the kid, you know. I mean, you know, that's his disability, and that's what it is, a disability. So he's going to do those things. You can't stop him. So for that reason, at the backyard, I don't see having that many kids. They need space to play, jump, work off that energy. I don't see it there. I just don't. And even inside, I've seen pictures of the inside of that building. It's not cut up for what you think. I'm sure you've been in there too, but I would say no for me as well.
Okay. Councilman Honoré?
Yeah, I guess the biggest thing is I understand, you know, your dream and stuff, but I don't think you're ready. Well, and I don't even know your financial situation, but I know I used to own the property. You know, one way upstairs, maybe like 2 bathrooms. How many bathrooms they have now? 7 bathrooms. You know, ADA compliant. There's no elevator. You know, there's a lot of things I guess you got to deal with in that, and you know, and the lady up the street, you know, I don't know, she put like $400,000 in it, trying to get it ready for the senior. There's a lot of stuff that you would have to do to that property to make it
Up to code.
livable for the code. I know that's probably something we didn't think about, but you know, just to say approval, and you know, I wouldn't go that far with it either.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much, Council. So hearing from the people that are here today, there was no one in favor, and there were several people that are in opposition, as well as hearing feedback from my council. It looks like the decision is going to be made. Am I right? So, yeah, we can. So what?
Can I interject? I'm sorry.
Okay.
I would recommend to the applicant, if he's facing a denial, to pass the property for future applications, it's better for him to ask for a withdrawal, to withdraw his application, than to have a vote where it's denied.
I'm sorry, what was the reason?
Just, it's inside.
Well, and-
Like it's about nice, but withdraw your application in case you come back later or something.
In case it comes back later.
Right? Ms.
Say,
Johnson?
let him say that again, why he should
Can you say that
record.
again, Mr. Johnson?
Sure. Where an application is denied, there's a waiting period before another application for the same property can be accepted.
Oh,
So since he's not the owner, this would fall on the owner. He would end up encumbering his property for up to a year, I believe it is. And, that's a year of inactivity.
Well, it's pretty
So I
much that
would
anyway.
urge him to consider withdrawing his application at this point.
Did you have any questions about that? Some clarity needed? Okay.
This is the first time anything ever, for that particular property, not there.
Now, they didn't come here and do what you did.
You can't do all that.
No, they didn't go the right way. Yeah, this is the first presentation that I can remember, and I've been here for 4 years with that property, so.
Me too. And I've been here 10.
Okay. Would that be a withdrawal for you, sir? Okay, I'd like to make a motion to accept Mr. Jackson's, withdrawal.
I second.
all in favor? None opposed? All right, we can move forward with that withdrawal. Thank you so much, Mr. Jackson.
Thank you.
Mr. Johnson.
And best of luck in the future.
Have a good day if you want to. We'll talk to you later. Mr. Johnson,
Yes.
I was telling you to have a good day.
Thank you very much. Do the same.
See you soon.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
All right. Okay, thank you so much. We're going to now move into our new business. Not sure if I think we already approved the overall agenda. So our first topic for decision is the resolution to amend the purchase and sale agreement for 7005 Strip Street.
Yeah.
And I'll let you guys.
Ms. Waters is going to read the resolution. You guys voted on that.
Yep.
Okay.
Doing the house cleaning. Thank
Oh,
you.
really?
No, it's your birthday.
The 16th.
Wow, we all January.
I know, right?
Okay, a resolution by the mayor and city council of the city of Lithonia, Georgia, to regulate and provide for, oh, I apologize, I'm reading the wrong resolution.
There's 3 of them. They all look the
Yes.
same.
Hold on. Okay, this is what I'm looking for. A resolution by the city of Lithonia, Georgia, to authorize the First Amendment to purchase and sale agreement for 7005 Swift Street, to authorize the mayor and execute that agreement, to provide for the severability, and to provide for an effective date and for other lawful purposes. And just a motion.
Can I get a motion, please?
I'd like to make a motion to approve, the resolution to amend the purchase and sale agreement for 7005 Fifth Street.
Second? Anyone?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, we have it. Let's move forward.
Thank you all. The next one on your agenda should be, is that one to call for election?
To appoint the Cap County Board of Registration.
Gotcha, okay. A resolution by the city of Lithonia, Georgia, appointing the Cobb County Board of Registration and Elections to conduct the city of Lithonia's 2025 November general municipal election, held on November 4th, 2025, if necessary, to conduct the city of Lithonia November special called runoff election,
to be held December 2nd, 2025, for other lawful purposes. Okay, can I get a motion?
I motion to approve the resolution to appoint the DeKalb County Board of Registrations and Elections.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, any opposed? No? We can move forward. All right, then the last will be a resolution by the mayor and city council of the city of Lithonia, Georgia, to regulate and provide for the calling of the general municipal election and to call the general municipal election for the city of Lithonia to be held on Tuesday, November 4th, 2025, to elect council members and the mayor, that's not correct, to conduct a runoff election if necessary to be held Tuesday, November 2nd, 2025, to fix and publish qualifying fees, to set the location, dates, and time for candidates qualifying to fill the municipal offices, to establish qualifying as a pauper, and for other lawful purposes. Okay, can I get a motion?
I'll make a motion to accept the resolution to provide for and publish qualifying fees with any corrections.
I second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
All right, we can move forward with that. Thank you all.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. Was there a need for executive session? Okay, great. All right, we can move along to any updates and reports. Anyone want to speak on that, or would you?
I do have a question. Cities Week, have you got any information on Cities Week yet? Yeah, I know. All right, we'll put it together this year.
And just to piggyback off that, Mayor mentioned last time about getting an event planner. So I don't know if we ever talked about choosing someone for that. Mhm. Okay. Mhm. Okay, sounds great. Thank you. Chief, did you need to?
Yes, when you guys get it. I need to pull the date up. I had it. I was gonna check it with you guys. Here it is. February 20th, on a Thursday, February 20th, let me know what your schedules are. Georgia Academy is having a training class. It's actually going to be here in Decatur for housing, public housing, for elected officials. Be a good thing for everybody. Thursday.
I'm sorry.
What time did you say?
It's all day.
But I'm saying, no, like what,
You said February when?
4:30.
oh, we did
February
up for the
20th.
entire
Yeah.
session.
It's a full-blown training class just on housing, to kind of help elected officials navigate public housing.
We just need to know how many of us want to attend.
Yes, there is a fee for it, so I just need to know. It's through Georgia Academy of Economic Development. I took one of their classes on Friday, down in Atlanta, for economic development and growth. Pretty good class. So, they sent that out, and I just wanted to provide that opportunity for council to attend a good housing class. I think I'm gonna go myself, to get a little better understanding, of public housing and the abilities and what we can and can't do and things like that.
I would be interested. I'll just take off a day.
I did touch a little bit on some of our issues, and they said that
How many of us could go? All of us? I want to go.
I will not.
You said on the 20th, I gotta move some stuff around now. I'll let you know, I gotta move some stuff.
just let me know. That's it.
20
So,
February.
February 20th.
Wait.
Yeah.
I'm trying to wait till she gets to the council.
Oh, yeah. Any police updates?
Not right now.
Okay. Are we still on for Friday with the dog park? Okay. All right, Chief. Any questions for him? Okay. All right, let's go to our council member updates. You are yours. Uh-oh. Okay, Councilman.
Oh, Mayor, go ahead. Okay, a couple questions. Since we were talking about KS last week. Have you gotten any quotes, or are we having any RFP conversation about Swift Street?
past Gateway?
Past J-Way?
Like, remember we talked about how the street is real bumpy and uneven and then.
Yeah, so in order for us to do that, we have to do a traffic study, just like we did before when we paved, when we had them go around and give us our bad areas.
Okay.
So we do a traffic study, which I put it on the radar for them to do.
Okay.
Now, that's outside of, remember we talked about the parking lot and, you know, extending the trail from Arabia Mount Trail over and coming down Wiggins. Remember for years it was talked about doing a one-way. We did away with that idea. And then we talked about, okay, well, if we're going to do that, we need to look at paving Wiggins, Johnson, Council, and
Conyers.
no.
I'll get back to those streets because I'm saying Swift because Swift is a very, there's lots of traffic there. I travel there every morning, three times a day I travel there, of course I'm there. But that street is so bothersome driving out towards Stonecrest. And I'm just like, we gotta put that on our radar.
Which street, Swift?
Like when you pass that way, like you're going towards Stonecrest.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, right now, we don't take it all the way out because we go right up into that sign and then we stop.
Yeah, we
it
stopped
needs to be
right
right
at,
up to the sign, because that's where the bulk of the issue is in the road by so uneven.
so I'll put it on the list for them to go ahead and give us a traffic study.
Okay.
Or a proposal for a traffic study.
Okay, so these are just questions that my neighbors are asking. So they did ask about that street. We also asked them, we did have a conversation about making sure it's still on the radar, about our one light that we have, about redoing the crosswalk and hopefully making a turning light there or doing a better job with that light.
So
That's still on our radar.
yes, we did get a proposal on that. We still got to get a couple more proposals, but during the engineering part of it, kind of like getting with the CAD, especially because they do the traffic engineering with the light, we have to kind of redesign that whole entire island. Because we did notice, and we were kind of driving it repeatedly that day, when you come from Stone Mountain Street and you go to get on Max Cleveland, instead of looking here, you have to look here.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, so in order to redesign it, you have to shift the Stone Mountain Street lane just a little bit and cut the island back. So it takes a lot more than what we thought it was gonna take. So I'll kind
We're
of,
gonna keep them on our radar though.
yeah, oh yeah. I mean, I have it on my to-do list. I have a little dry erase board with to-do list and it's on there.
Okay, so the third thing is, I had two neighbors ask me about this, and I said, good idea, let me bring it up. I'm probably sure we would have to have a conversation with Mr. Safari, but they were asking, have you ever pulled in a plaza and there's an ATM that you can drive up to?
Yeah.
So we don't have ATMs in the city. We have one, and it works when it wants to work.
Wait, which ATM?
CBN.
That's supposed to be down, but
No, it works.
it's supposed to.
So here's my question, since we have this new relationship, the city has a new relationship with Regions. I'm wondering if that's a conversation that we can have with all the parties involved to kind of make us look more like a city. We don't have any ATMs, like,
You're right, I
because
said
we don't have a
that.
bank. So hopefully in the future, we'll also have a bank.
Yeah, well, I do know this, citizens just approached us last Thursday, or Wednesday or Thursday, about, the interest in purchasing the old bank. I think it was Thursday, 'cause I think the mayor was there, and she called me while she was there.
You said citizens wants to,
Sell that old bank.
oh, they do, okay.
That would be
okay.
amazing.
They want
business to get there.
Yeah.
Sell it.
But yeah, that was a question, like, can we get a freestanding ATM somewhere? So put that on the radar. And what was the third thing?
So that was the third one.
The fourth one? The fourth one was, is there, or have you heard, is there, an ETA for expected groundbreaking for Lucia Travis Recreation Center?
We just had this issue today.
So it'll be a few years.
No. I mean, 6 months, less than that. I would say less than that.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. I'll be honest with you, we were kind of hoping and thinking it was going to be in the next 30 to 60 days. But there's a little hiccup we ran into today that we've got to get, yeah. They already have their,
Which is crazy because they said that it was going to mirror Toby Grant. It was gonna mirror other wrecks that they already have, so why not go with the same contractor?
yeah, they still have to take a process.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I will tell you, they have their plans are already in, reviewed. The Safe Built's already sent over their comments. Harry's working on the LDP because he has to do the land disturbance permit portion of it. And then Bill's been working. So the three of them, Safe Built, Harry, and Bill, have been having to work in conjunction and get everything back to Pond, which is the design team, for it, and kind of go back and forth to get everything fixed before the county will do their first review of the life safety fire, because they have to have that after Harry does the LDP, and then they can take their steps to move forward. But in the plans, just so we touch base on this, because this was a hot topic during a meeting, in their plans, they all widen the road, just like we talked about. And Stonecrest has agreed to widen their end, just like we'll end up widening our end. So.
And then my last thing, probably not this last thing. Since we'll have all that going on, maybe it'll be a great opportunity for us to start getting some pricing or looking into possibly some sound barriers for that part.
We say sound barriers.
When I say sound barriers, I mean like something that kind of
Around the amphitheater or the park?
Amphitheater park. Because, and the reason why I say that is because we're having more and more larger events back there that have cadence with music.
So, are you talking about around the fields?
Yes.
Okay, when you said the park, I was.
No, I meant to say
the fields.
Yeah,
Okay, the fields are weird. Yeah, because the park would be huge.
Yeah.
But yeah, the fields. Yeah. We definitely. Yeah. You know, there's also, you know, just to throw it out there, just to kind of get y'all's creative mind thinking. There's also, you know, abilities to purchase old shipping containers for cheap price, stack them, paint them, make them look good. That's a sound barrier. Plus, they act as a storage spot too. So something to think about.
I got something. One of my customers goes to the Methodist church at the corner, and they officially closed. And he's selling the church.
Which one?
It's up for sale.
Oh, are they still doing the food giveaways until they?
No, nobody's there.
Wait, you talking about the white church?
Right
Yeah, the Granite Church. You know what
Red
the
Door of Church Street, the Church of Church Street, right on Church.
Yeah.
Red Door.
Oh,
Red Dog.
Real quick, another update. If you haven't seen, if you go down Main Street tonight, if you look, all the lamps are brand new. Signed a contract with Georgia Power. They changed them out for free. We still pay the bill. I'm actually looking to try to get someone to come give me a quote to repaint the poles, because the poles they look gray with brand new black lamps and LED lights. So
that's just on Main Street? What about the lights around the city?
no, they were only switching the Main Street poles because there's something with
the posts or the bulbs?
The bulbs, the globes.
Yeah,
because they have different globes.
And they start right there at the top by CVS, so it looks really nice.
Yeah, and they went all the way down the switch.
Look really nice.
Stop before they get to council.
I don't know about council. Do we have, is Kanye Street on the list for splash? For repaving?
They'll do the whole city for a paving study.
who, Lowe's?
Yeah. The traffic engineering company will. Just like we did before when they did the study, and then we took the worst streets that they gave us and we paved those. We'll do the same thing again.
Because Miss Wynn said that she has a whole development right there at her door.
So.
And it might be water underneath there, because she swear we built on water.
All right, guys, we are just a little bit over an hour, huh?
Okay.
Are you able to keep it less than 2 minutes, Ms. Anderson? Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Take your time.
Good evening.
Carlene Anderson, 2580 Wigan Street. I just want to say thank you so very much for the partnership between Success Mentorship and Repertoire Inc. and the city of Lithonia and the Lithonia High School PTSA, for which I serve as president. And I don't know if you all got wind of the wonderful day we had of service, MLK Day of Service. It gave our students, there were approximately 21 of our students from the school, in addition to mentors, mentees, and volunteers with Ms. Joyce McKibben and Ms. Sharika Burks, who you're quite familiar with the Success Mentorship Program over there at 6980, I think, Main Street. And so in total, there were around 40-something of us there. And so what we were working on were creating blessing bags with toiletries that will be distributed to safe spaces in the schools, middle schools, and high schools in the area. Also, the students helped to sort clothing and shoes that will be going to local shelters, be they domestic violence or homeless or displaced persons living in them or being housed temporarily there. And so I just wanted to say thank you because Lithonia High School, we're trying to write a narrative, and the opportunity to partner with you all is a great one. On my breast, I wear a shirt, literally. So Georgia PTA Day at the Capitol is coming up on February the 5th. And Mr. Honore is a part of our mailing list, of course, as a member of our PTSA. And I want to extend that offer to all of us. It's $10 to invest in our students, small price to pay, but it goes a long way. And so I talked with the mayor before about how the city can partner with us and maybe defraying some of the costs. Sometimes it might just be something as simple as helping to establish membership for students who need a sponsor. Or, you know, the day of the trip, we will do some grab and go snacks for the students because we have to leave the school by 7 a.m. And so as we know, one of the priority issues with PTSA is nutrition. And so when students are thrown off of their schedule, whether it's snow or, you know, summer break.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. But let me ask you a quick question. If you had to assign a dollar value, what would you say that you need to assist the students on that day?
Let's just say we take membership. If we took membership alone for the 50.
You got change for 20?
Sure.
Okay.
You gonna donate right now?
Yeah, I'm trying to do that.
So if we take membership alone, it would be $580 for the 58 of the 90 who have not yet established their membership. But, you know, donations are coming in. So just to answer your question there. Beyond that, though, we have 90 students for whom we want to do a grab and go breakfast. That would just be something like boxes of Capri Sun, individually wrapped donuts, if you have somebody who can donate some of this stuff, you know, oatmeal pies, you know, tangerines, just maybe 4 items in the bag that we could just grab and go, because as we know, they're going to the Capitol, they're going to be talking about all these issues, and the school was not able to provide breakfast for that purpose.
Okay.
They weren't able to do sack lunches for that purpose, so that then leaves the students to either have to find money or find sponsors
And how many,
for lunch.
how many students are planning to go to this?
We're planning for 90 of them.
90.
So, yeah, in one class alone, there's a teacher at Lithonia High School, her name is Dr. J, and she has constitutional theory class, and she has the current issues class. And so in those classes, we have 47 students. In addition to those students, we have PTSA student ambassadors. We have 32 of them who've established their membership. And we have men of distinction, MOD, ladies of distinction, LOD. We have SGA, which is Student Government Association, and students from DECA, right, who are very vocal, very articulate, and will represent Lithonia High School and Lithonia very well. We have our Teacher of the Year who will also accompany the trip. I've extended an invitation to our member there, but he ain't going. Not this time. Did you say you're not going? You
I'm sorry to cut you short.
Yes.
Sorry.
My watch.
Ashley, I don't know, or Chief, I don't know if this is something, but this is kind of like an extension of our community pot. Is that something that we can do as a city to donate?
Oh, did she?
Okay.
She told me. She told you. That is awesome.
Okay. Well, we didn't hear it, so great.
Great, congratulations.
Yay!
Thank you.
Here's my membership fee. You get $10?
Oh, let me just say this.
That's okay.
I wanted, yes, thank you. Councilwoman Howard, I'm sorry, Shepherd was thanking her. I want to thank you for all your work.
Yes,
Mr. Mosley for all your work. I
Yes.
appreciate it. You guys are very heavily involved.
Yes.
So I appreciate y'all coming out tonight.
Did he tell you who he is?
No, he just,
So Mr. Mosley is
He was
our
trying to-
assistant director of the CAB Council of PTAs.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, District 11, correct? Or Region 2, which one?
Assistant District Director.
Okay.
it's a lot of fun.
Awesome.
So, also, is the Friends of the Library tomorrow?
Yeah.
Yes, Friends of the Library tomorrow. Thank you so very much.
What's happening?
Oh, Eugene.
Really.
Thank you.
You gonna stop calling me up.
No, but I'm going to establish your membership before I leave.
Okay.
Okay.
Friends of the Library, 5:30 tomorrow.
You guys, I want to go ahead and relieve people. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Can I get a motion to end our special call meeting?
I motion to adjourn our special call meeting.
Awesome. All in favor?
Aye.
Ayes have it. Y'all have a good night.